Thanks for tuning into our podcast. We love having you here, and it's our mission to bring you all the latest and greatest tips, skills, and know-how to make you the best that you can be. We know that you have it in you, and we're going to show you how. Now, let's get started.
Welcome to the Pair Affair today. Talk about it and talk about some three things that I really know that are important when you're struggling and you're going over some things. All right, so let's listen to our story. Be right back.
Two goats came face to face while crossing a narrow bridge. "Let me pass," said one of them. "Never. You get out of my way," said the other goat. They quarreled with each other and lost their balance. They fell into the stream down below and died. A few days later, another two goats came face to face while crossing the same bridge. Both these goats were wise and patient. They made way for each other to cross the narrow bridge. Both reached their home safely. Moral: better bend than break.
Welcome back from our story. We had these two that went over to this bridge and they wanted to both get across at a certain time. And as one of them didn't want to budge, the other one didn't budge, and they eventually both of them, they fell off the bridge and they killed themselves. And then we have another scenario where we have they say, hey, you go, I go, it doesn't matter who goes. We're both going to get across this bridge at the same time. And eventually they did. And that's what it's all about in life. Sometimes we'll come across some things that are going to really challenge us in certain ways. And as I looked at this story, I looked at how I broke this story down. And the biggest thing that we have to do is called preparation. Preparation is the key to a lot of things in life. You have to prepare yourself for events that are going to happen to you. Like, for example, you're going to come across people that may want to go across a bridge before you do. What are you going to do with that situation? Are you going to be stubborn and push and say, I'm going to be eagles and get in your way? Or are you going to say, all right, I'm going to get across no matter what? Or are you going to just try to bully your way through it? Or how are you going to get across that bridge? Or whatever you're going through at this time, how are you going to prepare yourself to overcome this situation? A lot of times we think that we are prepared to go over certain things and go through certain things, but we really aren't. And that's our downfall, is not preparing ourselves for things that could happen. As I look at some things that I'm preparing myself for, as I look around at some of the equipment, I have a pretty big accomplishment coming up this Friday, and I have to get it done. I put myself out there where I know I can do the job, but there's so many things that unknown that putting it together, it's going to be kind of difficult. But you got to want to challenge. You got to want to challenge yourself. You got to want to do things a little bit differently. And so every day I just wrote down, took a list of all the things that I need, all the equipment I need for the shoot. I need all the equipment for the video shoot. And I said, you know what? Just prepare yourself, take some practice doing it. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I said, but if you go in there and you don't have your stuff together, you don't have your list down. And so I checked this list. I'm checking it over again. I said, the main thing is each day you have 7 days or whatever it is. Each day get a little bit done. So that day comes, you're ready to go. And I said, rehearse it, go over it, do it, set it up, set everything up, get everything set up. So when you go in there, everything's ready to go. But a lot of times we want to go in there Friday morning and wing it and not prepare ourselves for anything. We just want to hey, I'm here, let's shoot. And you won't get a good quality effort out. As I'm putting things together, takes a lot of work to get some things done, but you got to put the time in. You got to prepare yourself. And as I told myself, as I learned this trick over and over, it's hard. Preparing yourself is really hard. I was just reading a story about this father and daughter who are climbing Mount Everest. And one of the things they had to do is prepare themselves to climb this mountain. They just can't just run up the mountain and say, okay, they had to stop. They had to get themselves together. They had to physically and mentally change themselves so they can get up the mountain. But a lot of times as we go up this mountain, we don't want to prepare ourselves. We just want to accomplish something, but we don't take the little small steps. We don't want to go up the hill and say, okay, let's go back down. Right now it's not a good time to go. And a lot of times we're just not prepared. But as we go and we go through being prepared, one of the things I noticed myself today is another attribute that we have to have is called patience. You have to have a lot of patience. Your patience will be tested during this time. Sometimes, like today, I was working on this machine, and it's been giving me just, just all kind of misery, and just I don't know what's going on with this machine. So I got some new parts for it, and I worked on it. Took it apart, put it back together. Still looked the same to me. Put the new parts on there, plugged it up, just looked at it and it was positive and said I did everything I was supposed to do. And lo and behold, it cranked up, and I don't know what I did different. Maybe I didn't have a pin in the right order or whatever I didn't do. But I said I had to be patient with it. I had to be patient. I was going to get it done eventually. I had some other options. I prepared myself. So if I didn't have that, I was going to go do this option. I had like 3 options I was going to do. And, I'll see tomorrow. I'll see what happens if it can hold up, or I got to do some other things. But I realize I've been built for this, and you've been built for this. A lot of things that we've been being patient. It's a daily test that we're going to have. As soon as we get in the car, there's going to be someone who might cut you off, or someone who's in your way, or you're trying to get to work, or whatever you're going to do, you're going to be tested with your patience, and you're going to continue. I heard someone say you're going to continue getting tested and tested over and over again until you get it right. And then sometimes I'm like, man, this patient stuff is really not for me. Um, I got cars just going across from me. I got people taking advantage of certain things, but they said, keep being patient and keep trudging along. And I'm telling myself as I look to, do new things. And as I'm working with this new platform that I'm doing with the podcast and with the video stuff now, is there's so much equipment and so many things I'm trying to learn as I go through this. But I have to be patient with myself. I said, each day I have this new equipment that I have. I said, just be patient. I learned something new today with some new equipment. I learned some new things I have to set up on my end so that everything works fine. But I have to be patient when I'm doing this. You're going to make mistakes, but that's how you learn. But you can't get frustrated and throw down the hammer or whatever. And the last couple of things I've been working with, I've been really patient with. I mentioned earlier, probably an earlier podcast, I was working on my car. I had a bad oil leak, and I've been putting it off, and changing the valve cover gaskets on it. But eventually, one thing I realized, I had to be patient. I had to take a lot of parts off the car and then put them back on the car. And I got everything done, and everything looks great. I put everything back. I followed the instructions, but there was one little piece, the brake booster tube line was hiding. It was just hiding. It wasn't hiding. It was just in a bad spot, and I couldn't figure out where it was. And I was like, I said, this is going to test your patience. And I just told myself, relax. And eventually I just touched it and it moved. And I said, okay, that's where it goes right there. But a lot of times we are so close to finishing our goals and whatever we're trying to do, but we don't have the patience. I always tell people that who don't have patience, just the biggest thing you can do is go get you a fishing pole, get you some license, get you some worms, whatever, bobber, and just go fishing. And if you don't catch anything that day, that might be the best experience for you, because it's going to build you a lot of patience. It's just sitting, waiting, and nothing's happening. And that's what happens a lot in life. We sit, we wait, we don't get it. I know myself, I'm looking at some equipment for our business, and I'm like, I look at it every day, and I'm like, I want to get some new equipment for this part right here. And I just said, just be patient. And it's going to happen, but you have to be patient. I want you to do it the right way. I don't want you to rush out and make bad decisions. And I said, just do it the right way and everything will be fine. But a lot of times we want to push it through and make it happen, and it's not going to happen. So that's the thing we have to do, is be patient. And it's hard being patient. A lot during this time, just being patient and just relaxing and taking some deep breaths. I heard someone told me the other day, just take a deep breath, smile, and relax, and it'll be fine. But a lot of times we want to just do it our way. And the last thing that, as I looked at this story, is about accomplishment. Think about what you're trying to accomplish. What are you trying to accomplish as you are preparing yourself, as you are being patient? What are you trying to accomplish? And sometimes you have to look at what you're trying to accomplish, because as I was repairing my car, I was trying to accomplish that. I wanted to save the money, put it with my family, do something with my family. Same thing as I was repairing things. Want to save that money, put it with my family. I don't mind doing the work, but sometimes I have to look at the accomplishment. And then as you accomplish things, you have to make sure you pat yourself on the back. You have to really make sure that you pat yourself on the back, that you tell yourself, hey, good job. Good job. I want you to continue working and accomplishing things. But a lot of times when we accomplish things, we just push them aside and we think, okay, whatever. And we start to focus on what we didn't accomplish. And lately, I've been beating myself up pretty bad about some things that I didn't accomplish earlier in my life. And I realized I've accomplished a lot more, and I need to focus on those things that I have accomplished because I prepared myself for those things. And I have really been patient in accomplishing those things. I look back and say, why are you worried about stuff that happened 20, 30 years ago that didn't work out that way? I said, you can't do anything about it now. Look at all the things that you have accomplished now. But a lot of times we want to sit around and feel sorry for ourselves. And it's just a bad thing to do, is feel sorry for yourself and think about the things that you accomplished and just look around all the great things that you have. And accomplishments are very easy for most people to do because that's what we want to do eventually, but we don't do the patience and we don't do the preparation first. And that's where we have to learn how to do everything, is being patient with a lot of things that are going on with us. We have to do the prep work, and then eventually we will accomplish things. But if we don't do the first couple things, it's not going to work out. And I heard my friend used to always tell me this little thing in college, and she used to say it all the time. I don't even want to repeat it because it's get on my nerves, because she was right. She's always telling me, if you don't plan and you don't prepare yourself, why would you expect success? Poor planning equals, failure. And that's what I realized. A lot of times we have to prepare ourselves. If we want to accomplish things, we have to prepare ourselves. I was talking to someone today. They were ready to accomplish or start a new venture. And I said, the best thing you can do is learn the vocabulary. And that's what I'm doing every venture I go into. Excuse me. Every adventure I go into, there's so many vocabulary words just to know what's going on. As I look at my camera setup, I look at the podcast, the video stuff. It's just so much I have to learn. And I like that. I like the fact that I get a chance to prepare myself, and I have to be patient and I have to accomplish things because I'm going to push myself to another level. And as we ended our podcast today, I want to thank you guys for stopping by the Pair Affair today and listening to us and keep pushing us as we try this new format. It's different, but we're preparing ourselves. We're going to be really patient with it. It's a little bit different, but we can do it. It's just a matter of just doing the workflow a little bit different. And hopefully the product comes out great. And as we continue to keep pushing and pushing, and as the followers online are telling me, hey, we want this, we want that, thank you. And that's what we're going to give you. All right. So I want to thank you for dropping by the Pair Affair, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
This week's episode has come to an end, but the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.